Sure. I am Sue Viskovic. I'm Managing Director of Elixir Consulting.
Nice to talk to you, Sue. How long have you worked within the financial services sector?
I think I am now going on, it would be 15 years? Yeah, 15 years, yeah.
Okay. And how long have you been
Actually,
running?
maybe even a bit longer than that.
A bit longer than 15 years?
Yeah.
Okay. All
17.
right.
Oh gosh, it's 17 years.
Congratulations.
Sorry.
Time flies.
It does, when you're having fun.
So you've got Elixir. How old's Elixir?
Elixir is 9 years. In 9 years last week.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What were you doing in the previous 8 years in the...
So I started in banking. I was a glorified mortgage broker that worked for a bank, really. Then I moved into funds management, so I was a BDM with Challenger for a while. Then I moved over, they bought a stockbroking firm for a short space of time. Thankfully, longest 9 months of my life, helping stockbrokers to think more like financial advisors. And then from there I moved into practice management. So I worked with Bridges. I did some really cool things like helping write the practice management content for what was then Fincia. And then I decided I wanted to put my training to good use because I studied to be CFP throughout all that time. So I actually worked as an advisor for a couple of years and ran the financial planning arm or a Sydney office for a financial planning and chartered accounting practice. Then we started breeding, so we moved back home, and then I went back into practice management again with Epic Advisor Solutions at the time, then became Century, then I moved on to create Elixir.
I'm puffed out just listening to you, Sue. But from what you've been saying, and depending on your perspective, you've worked on the dark side and you're working on the light side as well.
I have. I think I've worked in every camp: funds management, licensee land, advisor land, and consulting.
Has that helped you in the business that you're doing now?
Without a doubt, yeah. I think I've got a really unique insight into all the different players in the industry and how the entire ecosystem works, and that helps a lot.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit before we start to talk about you and
Sure.
find some questions you don't know the answers to. This is a life insurance focused publication, and I know you've recently released a book that talks to advisors about perhaps future ways they may be able to structure a risk focused advice business. Is there anything you want to talk to us about that?
Yeah, look, I think the motivation to write it came from the angst around the LAF coming in, and I was seeing so many advisors very threatened, and their business models are very threatened by a reduction in commissions. And trying to price your investment advice is difficult enough, and we're specialists in that area. Trying to price risk advice has a whole nother layer of complexity. But the whole underlying premise behind all of this is actually about running a business. So none of the questions that advisors were asking were really easily answered with a single paragraph on a blog post or a quick conversation. So I thought, look, I've got so much knowledge about it. I got to sit down and write a book about it, and thankfully, on one hand it was really annoying, but thankfully it took me 18 months, 2 years to do it, because I have a family and I have a business, but it also allowed me to do a lot more research and talk to more advisors that were successfully doing this, talk to more clients who wanted advice, to really be able to put the whole thought process together. So, yeah,
okay, and what engagement have you found since you launched the book? So
good. I said to someone this morning, sales are great, like we're selling lots of them, which is fantastic, but that's kind of, I guess, plus that we've been good at marketing it. What's been really, really lovely is that I'm now already getting emails, unsolicited emails from people that have read it, and they're saying that it's really helping them and they're loving it, and that as an author and a consultant and a coach, that's what really is exciting.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So yeah, I'm so glad. Yep.
What other family things are you doing in Perth?
Oh, so I love exercising, and I have joined, there's a group called Step Into Life, so they do group outdoor personal training, and quite often my kids love coming down. So our trainer is gorgeous, and often, you know, different people bring their dogs down, and my kids will come down, and so that's kind of fun. We always make sure I never work on a weekend, unless I'm on a deadline. It's very rare that I would do anything work related on a weekend, unless maybe Sunday night after the kids are in bed. Few emails.
Does that take a bit of discipline, Sue?
Oh yeah. But I think it's just so necessary, because you don't, it's like a computer. I think, you know, your mind, unless you completely, you know how sometimes stuff is going wrong with a computer and the answer is shut it down and reboot it? Yeah. Same with our mind. You know, you could be so busy, and that time to refresh, completely step away from it and come back, you're far more effective when you do. So family time for us, weekends we're fortunate enough to live really close to the beach, so we usually walk down to the beach. Our local cafe is like my kids' lounge room. We'll go down for coffee, take the kids to the playground, just spend time with them. I love cooking. I used to love doing dinner parties, but it's been such a long time since we've done that. You know, once kids get a little bit older. But a couple of them really love to cook too, so cooking with them is really fun. The 5-year-old hasn't chopped a finger off yet, so we're doing well.
All right, next dinner party, you're sitting there with your family. Who are 3 people you would invite?
Amelia Earhart.
Very
we can
good.
Find her if she was still around. She would be very cool. My kids love Usain Bolt, just so that they can do the bit of that with it.
You don't love cool. Usain Bolt, Sue?
I do.
Yeah.
It would be more that I would invite him for them, because they would think that was amazing, and he would be phenomenal to learn from. Oh, who else? A third, if I had to nail it down to just one. Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela.
Sounds like it'd be a good dinner party.
Yeah, that would be fun, wouldn't it?
Coming back to the industry, looking forward, what do you see? You're on the cutting edge with how you see the future, particularly the risk advice sector.
Yep.
What's your message to advisors? What do you see in the future?
Innovate, 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 innovate. We are not going to solve the underinsurance problem with the same business models that created it, or that haven't solved it so far. I've just got back from this trip to San Francisco, and we saw some amazing businesses. People are worried about the LAF and the impact that's going to have on their business. That is nothing compared to what is going to come. There are, I think someone said this morning, 800 different businesses in Silicon Valley right now with lots and lots of money behind them wanting to disrupt the financial services industry. Now, as an advisor, a robot, a computer screen is not going to replace the personal relationship and the communication and the endorsement and support that people are looking for when they're making really important decisions.
Will they coexist?
Yes, I think they will, but I don't think if an advisor doesn't embrace tech and doesn't embrace ways to engage with their clients digitally in the way their clients want to engage, then they will struggle to be able to get those clients to then have the belly-to-belly time with them. So just using things like, as simple as Sweetbox to be able to have their face-to-face meetings, some of them online. It might not replace all of them. Don't put up with stupid financial planning software that doesn't work, that you spend a fortune on and you just can't figure it out. Find solutions that will work. Make your life easier, make your clients' life easier, drive down the cost of advice, and just keep being able to do such meaningful things that you do for your clients.
From your perspective, it seems like it's a fascinating future in the financial advice sector for those that are prepared to embrace change,
yes,
or at least cope with change.
Yes, I know it's frightening. I know and it can be overwhelming, and I think that can cripple people because they don't know where to turn and they don't know how much they don't know. It's just so important to not shy away from it, to plan. We've got our software that helps people create a business plan. I'm still stunned by the number of business owners that don't have a plan. Look at how you're running things, be constantly curious, go out, experiment with different things, find the right things that will make your job easier and make your life better with your clients.
Sue
Do
Viskovic,
it intentionally.
thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to staying in touch.
My pleasure.